Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to a review and discussion for the first new music in 8 years from Skid Row. The song is called The Gang's All Here, and this is since the release of their 2014 EP, The Rise of the Damnation Army, which had a subtitle to it, United World Rebellion Chapter 2, as it was actually part 2 in a series. The song itself was released on March 25th of 2022, but before we dive into that, if you are new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with the first new music from Skid Row in 8 years, The Gang's All Here. And we're gonna jump into that now. But, if an announcement of new music wasn't enough already from Skid Row, they've dropped an even bigger major bombshell, which is they have announced a brand new singer. And no, it's not Sebastian Bach. Of course, we would all like that, but that ship has sailed. So let's check that baggage at the door here. Now, instead, they've parted ways with ZP Tharp, who had sung with the band for the last 6 years, unfortunately never recording an album with the band. And instead, they've now announced new frontman Erik Grönwall, who is formerly part of Swedish hard rock band Heat. And so even though ZP Tharp had been in the studio with the band for the last few years, working on an album, new vocalist Erik Grönwall will be on the new album. So it kind of makes me wonder when they actually decided to make the transition from ZP Tharp to new vocalist Erik Grönwall, and when that switch took place. We can only speculate for right now whether or not they had a falling out and or they just simply decided to go in a new direction. I'm sure we'll find out soon about that, but for now at least we are going to focus on the fact that we actually have the first new music from Skid Row in 8 years to discuss. And so, as I said, the song itself is called The Gang's All Here, and it is the title track to the upcoming brand new album, which is due out October 14th. So we're getting a release date as well. Unfortunately, though, that release date is still over 6 months away, and it seems a little early to be releasing new music from it for an album that you're not going to be releasing for quite a long time. But I think they felt they had to do that in an effort to prevent any backlash from changing singers again, and to prove that this lineup is serious and planning on moving forward. So the song itself, The Gang's All Here, it's 3 minutes 38 seconds long. It is the second track on the album. There are 10 tracks total, and just right from the opening of this thing, it makes a big splash, announcing the band's return in such big form, kicking off with a very cool bass riff and a new lead vocalist making a huge entrance with a powerhouse scream, confirming that he can handle his new duties and that he's got the pipes to do it. And then in very short succession, about 8 to 10 seconds there, the whole band kicks in, and it's just a ruckusing good time going forward from there. And the first thing that I actually notice about this is the great production on it. The song itself has a really good sound. It's got good mix to it. It gives each instrument its own space within it. Nothing is buried throughout this song. It's very crisp in the way that it's done. The second thing that I notice on here is the amazing guitar work on it. We knew these guys had it in them, but I just hadn't felt that it had been present on their last so many recordings. And so we get a lot of amazing lead guitar work throughout this song here. Hopefully it's throughout the entire album as well. And in my opinion, at least, the band has made a conscious decision to return to that classic sound from the first album that made them so famous. And why not? That's what fans have wanted for a very long time, certainly myself. The third thing that I notice on here is the lyrical references to previous songs and characters. They reference right off the bat tricky little Vicky out of the song Rattlesnake Shake from the debut album. They sing about burning down the city, gangs, getting busted, things of that nature. Common lyrical, song information, especially off the debut and the second album. In all, the song itself has everything that I've been hoping and wanting from Skid Row ever since they reformed in 1999, and then of course with the release of Thick Skin, which is actually now 19 years old. It was released back in 2003. And so the song, At Last, has those classic elements that made me fall in love with the band so long ago. It's got great big sound, fantastic lead work, amazing vocals on it. You know, no new vocalist Eric Gronwald is not Sebastian Bach. They're two entirely different vocalists, different singers. You know, quite frankly, I think Sebastian Bach is irreplaceable. But, you know, it's just his vocals are so unique. Eric Gronwald, I think, is going to do an excellent job. And so the fact that this ship has sailed from Sebastian returning to the band, they've tried a number of times, it just hasn't worked. I'm glad they've got Eric in tow, and I think he's going to do a really great job. Case in point with this song right here. And so regarding the album itself, which is also titled The Gang's All Here, it's been 16 long years since their last full-length album, Revolutions Per Minute, which came out in 2006, and that one featured late vocalist Johnny Solinger singing, who unfortunately passed away last year. They would record 2 EPs with Johnny Solinger fronting the band, and that's where the United World Rebellion Chapter 1 from 2013 and Rise of the Damnation Army, which was subtitled United World Rebellion Chapter 2 in 2014. And those are the last recorded things the band had done. So that's why it's been 8 years since we've heard anything. Now, this new album actually started out as the 3rd EP, completing the trilogy. And then over the course of time, the EP itself developed into a full-length album, which I think was a good move on their part. However, the album itself is titled The Gang's All Here, and there is no subtitle to it for referencing to United World Rebellion. So not sure if the storyline is going to continue, if this really is considered part 3 or not, or they're just making a clean break and doing a sort of standard album release with songs that are not related and so forth. I'm sure the band will be addressing this shortly. The information just isn't currently present at the time of my review here. Now, on a side note here, I wanted to point this out. Eric Gronwald has recorded a cover of Skid Row's 18 and Life. So if you want to know what he sounds like singing the classic, you can actually check that out before going and seeing him live. He has recorded an acoustic version that appears as the last track on his self-titled debut solo album that came out in 2009. So quite a while ago, but he has done it, and you can get a good feel for it, and it's a nice version of it, really showing you his capabilities for being able to handle the vocal role in Skid Row. And there you go. That is The Gang's All Here, the first new music from Skid Row in 8 years. A little review and discussion on it. I know I'm certainly excited about this. I hope you guys are too. And as far as related videos, I have done an album ranking for Skid Row, and I've done a review of the box set that you can see over there, called the Atlantic Years for Skid Row, that collected up all their albums released on Atlantic Records. And I've also done a 30th anniversary album review for Slave to the Grind. So I'm going to leave links to all of those in the description. You can check those out if you want to. And certainly if you've enjoyed this video, consider sharing it out on social media. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.